Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Uya matinyana. Uya matinyana. Uya matinyana. Oh, uya matinyana. Yeah. So, uya matinyana. Uya matinyana. Say, I call you Jireh, say. I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen.
Okay. Gabusia, and another Saturday, the very first one in the month of November 2022. How do I celebrate the end of the year? I'm going to start now preparing to do that because November is preparation for Christmas and I know you're going to love it. Now, Mekai will say every Saturday afternoon I'll be coming your way with this very special program called The Community and the Law. If I'm doing this courtesy BWF Solicitors live on BWTV, live on BW Radio, live on BWF Solicitors Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and all the social media platforms and handles. And then we coming your way with a very interesting and important question. Now, honam color no se si etie ana se bibinti adwuma mu na obi epese otu nani edisu so na ye chunsin chain and all things are going against you. We're talking about discrimination, you see. And how do I successfully prove that I'm being discriminated against at work? A very important question. Our lawyer Charles Asmah, a resource person and a brother from BWF Solicitors, is going to help us answer. Plus all the other questions are I'm welcoming you live to BW Radio, BW TV, and the program is The Community and the Law. Hello once again. Ebusia Ebre Asose Yeti Community and Law Ebro is the very first Saturday of the month of November 2022. How are you doing? I know it's pretty going well with you. Very wet Saturday afternoon here in London, and we're coming your way by courtesy of BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, no so Seven Sisters, North London. Oyejuma Monday to Friday, free Anopa 9:30, Kopimanyumere 6 o'clock. They are our trusted partners when it comes to the law. They've served the community for over 30 years, and this year we're celebrating them and we're saying thank you to God on their behalf. BWF Solicitors is bringing us this program, and we're going to spend the next 2 hours trying to answer questions concerning immigration and the law. We are going to answer questions on anything that is eating up your mind when it comes to the law. Then again, we're also going to learn certain things that will help us to successfully understand what the law is here in the UK, especially when it comes to immigration matters. Your friend will reku usu frimpon and we live on BW Radio, BW TV, BWF Solicitors on their Facebook page and on their YouTube page as well. And our face also on LinkedIn and our face social media platforms. So when you come on, just like the page, share it, click the notification button, a sweet little button. Click it, and when it is that we put anything out, you'll be notified and you'll not lose out on it. And we see BWF Solicitors, Kwenya say Yemfa Emrewe, Ma Minko Nkotu, and when we come back, we will be looking at what we have for today.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
The Ghana Society UK, in partnership with the National Commission on Culture Ghana, African Knowledge Origins Ghana, Location Accra, and Kentek Goswahima, Her Royal Highness Nana Bina Santua I, supported by the Ghana Union, Association of Installed and Enscaped Traditional Rulers in the UK, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Ghana, Ghana Tourism Authority, and the Ghana High Commission UK present the prestigious annual Kente Festival, Kente Fest 2022. Spanning from Thursday, 20th October to Saturday, 26th November 2022. Activities will include African History Exhibition, cultural workshops, Ghana exhibitors exhibiting Ghanaian products from the 12th to the 26th of November 2022 in the Mall Shopping Centre, Luton, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, and culminating in the Grand Royal Kente Gala on Saturday, 26th of November 2022 from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. will be happening live at the plush venue 360, 20 Gibson Lane, Luton, LU1 3JH. Exit Junction 10 on the M1 motorway. Highlights of the night will include a Akaba reception and networking, the Kente Heritage Award, the launch of the Batakari, Damshika, and Fugu Festival 2023, honoring the best dressed Kente person, and live performances with the popular Davison Band. Tickets are available at Eventbrite, or there will be limited ones at the door. £30 standard and £50 VIP. Dress to impress in your rich kente or traditional smart evening wear. You don't want to miss this super cultural event. Kente Fest 2022. Sponsors: Kabaka Foundation, Kabaka Construction and Investment Limited, Databa Group, and Tap Tap Sen. Media partners: BWTV, BW Radio, Tropical FM and TV, and Kantanka Television.
Ye fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mransemu. Eye legal services, be to say family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nya den kra. Yen partner penin pa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura wo ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care, eya abofrahwe mu, awaregya ye ho twema mentwe. Ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso. Yen child care any family team no nim nia wo famu ewe ne ya wo bremu. Enu nti ne yeto ye mbo ase ma wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kire se eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw kra. Wo pe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas, ni appeals. Yen senior partner a member na wasagina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se taiwachi a wonni haw kra. Ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa non krompe mu ekosi enumre nunsia eye 9:30 AM kosi 6 PM. Ena memene danso appointment nko free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 AM kosi 4 PM. Yewo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nso a eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu san ye barrister ya gina tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law ho. Wa advise local authorities, official solicitors office, ni solicitors bebre efa Ghanaian law ho yi na osan yo bi a otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law ho.
Okay, I me that say what me ama makaba na fe me de and komono ebrewo. We're live on BWTV, we're live on BW Radio, and well, a host of other people have joined us. Rebecca Mwaku, good afternoon, dear brother and lawyer. How are you doing? Becky, we're doing so very well. Sanso ena yewo odesheba na kweku meye dede ejewa na najimai. Thank you for joining us. Oba na washe page no ade amaya na obia ade ensa akebi. And well, we start off, we're looking at the things that BWF Solicitors Wadarama Oboying Emma Yade Ebrewa. Now we're going to our nuggets straight away. Now I know if I say well, today we're going to talk about employment, basically things we do whilst we've been employed, things we do when we're employed, and things we do when it is that would have to stop being employed. Now, one of them is redundancy. And what is that? We'll be going into the definitional issues and the rest of it, but what does the law say? The Employment Rights Act of 1996 has this to say. Now, we're talking about redundancy, yeah? Redundancy is usually a type of dismissal when a role is no longer needed. The employer should only consider making redundancies if part or all of the organization is one, closing or has already closed, two, changing the types or number of roles needed to do certain types of work, and also changing location. So, lawyer will explain, so I'll continue with the reading. The employer may look at alternatives to redundancy. However, before an employer selects anyone for redundancy by law, they must follow a consultation and selection process. You will normally be entitled to statutory redundancy pay if you have worked for your employer for 2 years or more. And she said, Banner say, you say, Juano in young beauty idea. You say, oh, yeah, I'm redundant. Does it mean you have been sacked? Does it mean that you've been given the kick out of the office or the organization? What does it mean? What is the difference between dismissal and redundancy? I think it's pretty important to say you be the difference. And as I said, and then we deal with a lot of employment issues, even though your immigration stuff and the rest will come in. Let me go in and first of all welcome my brother, my friend, and my senior, lawyer Charles Asmah. I'm just good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brakuku.
Napo, what you say?
I'm Adam. I
want to say about it. We've dealt with it a year in and out, definitely. But you know, well, and then so Yabe na at for me kind of say lawyer Charles Asmah is a resource person from BWF Solicitors. Tilly, I'm saying good afternoon to you. I've seen you join us. Thank you for sharing. Now, BB also our joining and you haven't missed a lot. We just about going to it. We have just actually read our nugget, and I'm going to ask a lawyer to help us with the explanation. Say your case redundancy. Is it the same as we find in our English dictionary? And I say I won't answer no at say. Until lawyer, my young Koswe. NK, thank you for coming on board. Your case redundancy. What are we talking about?
Yo, that's a bit brave. Because this is the nugget session, we'll go straight later. We'll say hello to a TF1 Ashafo. And in a woman say, I can say redundancy, and that's a redundant, English word. But you show one in say, if I saw in this biome, second, redundant. I just say, what the bam remove near Jumamua. So I can say, Nipana all year Jumano. And I say a jumano aya redundant, position aya redundant, and I can say position in who here a beam. Into what was our position muno as our position aya redundant, no natural say you will have fallen into redundancy situation. In this ana quite the nature say jumana wo ye no, and fasuo, and I say and who here a jumano a beam. Yes, I won ya na who here, no a jumana wo ya wo hono. And I who ain't here a beam. Say, who here bet me about say a jumano egu.
Okay.
Actual closure.
Okay.
And I say a begu contemplated closure.
Okay.
You say baby go and you be no back say nya wo ye no mfaso embaso a beam. And now so say bia insesanye akoba ewo role na wo play no emu.
Okay.
Bia kanin no ye wo grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. If I say senior, super senior, and most senior roles for the same job. Now, I come say bibinti yemeji ebi. Na yenyi first and second in few one year no one pay.
Okay.
In the first supervisor. Instead say supervisor 1, supervisor 2, supervisor 3. No, we only need one supervisor. Now just say supervisor 1 and 2 no. Omo die no akobe say nia na omo ye no emfaso emmaso ebiem. Sa no ko be na che so mu position no abeye redundant.
Okay.
Sa na etie dia na wo hwemu a employer no ekwan eda ho se common sense ebema wo ne employee na acha ase se adwuma wei no se mfaso oni hu so se ye beye dia ene ehia so se obekoso ekipu obi.
So in this case ye ka say we are redundant. Does it mean say you would? Or it doesn't necessarily mean say you would.
Okay, so
fired the
okay, all right. So the first part no say adwuma no mfaso adwuma no ye hia biem because say yabobo nyoma yabobo so no economic reasons, technical reasons, organizational reasons. For these reasons na adwuma no ehia biem. Sa na etie dia emra no say ese wo no a ye employee until we call section 230 of the Employment Rights Act 1996 no or chirem who employee is. Uko baby so or chirem who a worker is. Wa qualify ho no na wa other aspect of the law no 108 so be ka say wa ye ho no che say mrododo ben na wa ho a wo betumi e claim say wo qualify say employer no oni ubedi ni yie. You should have worked with the employer for at least 2 years. When we are qualifying period no na we be say say near employer no person or ye no a fair and into we call section 98 now under general fairness grounds now one of them a redundancy. Okay. This employer na ma why aware say we prove say adwuma no mfa so eni so bie because of the yabobo so ni ntie dia and the mfa so and the ekwan da ho say obeyi wedi. Or you wedi not unfairly but fairly. Okay. Because one of the fair reasons for dismissal no redundancy under section 98 of the Employment Rights Act. So
to part companies with your organization or your employer, no, redundancy doesn't mean you've done something wrong.
No. Redundancy simply means that edwuma na wo ye no, enya wo edwuma na wo ye no, ehia organization no ebiem. E dey say company na ngasa egu to bia ekofie, anase ebegu nti esese ye ho na eden yakofie. Anase edwuma no reshuffle ni nyomanyomi bi akoba ye kate cost ni other things. Edwuma no kra no because of technology ye hia say nimpa ebeye biem. Because of all these changes in nti ebe hia say nsesaye ebeba edwuma ni mu. Nsesaye be dey by all means obi ebekofie. Sa ifie na wo kwa na say redundancy. A fair reason to be made to be dismissed, but that's a fair dismissal. Now, ye call ni say employer no to make it a fair dismissal. Pajawajazi. Inti di kan when we say redundancy imminent no, we ma nimpa no aya aware because the law ni say say woman employee no notice. Say na esi.
Inti notice no how long should it?
So normally with redundancy no, it has to go through more than just notice. Because under normal circumstances, we can have gross dismissal where you don't have to be served any notice. And we have the standard termination where you have to be notified by law or by contract. Okay. By law, no, can be 1 month. By contract, no, can be 3 months, depending on the nature of work you do. And the reason for the notice is to give the employer time to prepare to replace you. And also the employee time to prepare to fend for themselves outside. Okay. So it's a fair way. Now, we put the person on notice, Mrane says a redundancy there. It's not just about telling them, say, you have to check, said there are no alternative jobs.
Alternative jobs within
the organization.
Okay. For
them, within the group, because the organization may have other may have wider operation. So had na it's just the same company, but so you give the person alternative options. So we engage my being, but we then as part of the process, into when you now a process you go to what we call consultation. You consult the employee, you consult the trade union. The employees union group, because it's a labor issue. When we are then asunjaba, then you have to pay the person off. What we call redundancy package.
Paying off the person, the person must have, as we find on the screen, you will normally be entitled to statutory redundancy pay if you have worked for your employer for more, for 2 years or more. Does the length of period that 1 year do not count when you are being paid any amount for redundancy?
Yes. Now, the law is clear on Ocean Nugget now, or making reference to statutory redundancy pay.
Okay.
In the statutory, is basic. So if you want to play it safe, you go the statutory way because statutory, Sikano is so small. I will not be able to quote a figure, but what I'm saying is that the money for statutory redundancy is very minimal. And because of that, some of the employers need to redundancy payout policy, which is a fair way for the employee to fend whilst they are out there. In terms of mood, saying statutory,
Okay.
And also you share emredodoa what the idea aye ejuma ewo ho. The minimum na your boss no 2 years. Obi ma waye ejuma 10 years. Obi ma waye ejuma 5 years. Obi ma waye ejuma what have you. Nti na say obi umso omu a ebi kra onye bi kra because of emredodoa or the idea aye ejuma no. Nti how long you have spent with the employer count when it comes to redundancy calculation and pay.
Okay. Well, I'm saying Afi and we're joining you're live on BWTV, live on BW Radio. Now today we're looking at various things, employment, but immigration questions, any issues. When we activate the lines, you can call us on 07399208468. And I say over send the text WhatsApp and I say audio note at the Abraying Airway text number no so 07950 422-780, 07950-422-780. Mikai will say, the media will come in your way courtesy BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, 214-218, Tottenham High Road, Noso 7 Sisters, North London. BWF Solicitors, Juma, Monday to Friday. If free and upon 9:30, Ekopim and Yumre, 6 o'clock. You know, on AD and Koma, one telephone number is 0208 493 7340, 0208 493-7340 and our emergency number 077-127-61884. If you may come for a day amount, say only one everything come on a year weekend na I will say book appointment na only one na Saturdays what you mean about and what about the deal come on. And then you were in your lawyer Charles Asmah or no and a resource person. Intimate dane amana na fee. Then she has any tradition at the watch now pay me the question at the happen on what the promoting a year no at the mind. And then what we're doing is asking the question, say, how do I successfully prove that I am being discriminated against at work? When we say we're talking a lot employment here. Now pay Subai be and ye be the certain treatments that are being meted out to you, and you think that somebody mentioned some time ago this very interesting term, discrimination by association. How do you prove all these things? How do you successfully get people to appreciate, to say something is being done against you and you think you are being discriminated against? Lawyer will tell us. Lawyer Asmah, Akwaba Dio.
Yeah.
Okay. And to say senior we name no our tradition, but whatever when you take for evidence now fee you answer question.
Yo, a tier 4 ne ashafo and there me da ewie so ya ba wonchen so we adwuma mu wo fie wo bebi a wo bia no abefo efidie nti yetumi ehia ya ma good afternoon. And then so ye besua ade efa ne ekoso wo ndwuma mu titru on the point of discrimination. And ejidi say and then so ya disua no we be wi na wenya ba ko mienu bi efim. But aya na bebre no bra kwekwa ka say eh na mwade aye mu ode enso yen a yen Ghana fo no de aya mu twenye gu mu discriminate enyen. Santi your dream why say yeah it's a fair comment and a fair point.
That's right.
So we have to reach to the wider community. Into bra kweku Any just some woman say, and be a bring a busumia the same may. Your best say will reach out to the wider community. Now, yet the brophone so aye juma. Then in local language na bebre. Obi friend me some time ago. And I say, I got your video, but I cannot understand the language. But the topic is good for me. And I said, where do you get it from? The person says, oh, YouTube. I said, oh, don't worry. I wish I can interpret it for you, but what is it? Then I just took the information, listened to the person, advice on near openo. Some people will say, brofwa and ka also a benefit. Until you could will be reaching out to ya the brofwa so a beye ejuma na afufro no I said you want local language, with me ati and also say. So that is a bit of information for listeners. I'm sure people are saying, hooray.
Hooray. Well, that's what it is that you get from BWF Solicitors. We patiently and efficiently serve the community. And the TBR, you get your share. Even when we're doing the mainstream one and you find it difficult following, we try to mix it up, the language, both English and our local language, the Tree language, and you will benefit from it. But if you have any question, just text it, 07950-422-780. You can do a voice note and send it over to us. We'll put it on the program and get the lawyers to address that for you. When the lines are activated, you can call us on 07399208468. 07399208468. You can find that at the bottom of your screen. Lawyer, discrimination. It's one big word that people tend to grapple with. Say, cassette discrimination. Does it have a different meaning from what the dictionary says? And when it comes to the law, and especially with employment, does it also have a different meaning?
Well, there isn't much difference, excuse me, between the statutory definition and the standard English definition. And simply that you are not getting what you ought to get for some reasons. And the reason could be because of some protected characteristic. And I say, near wako akoye and I say wako kan inti. So the fact that the treatment or the thing, what is how you are treated at work compared to the rest is different, is the fact that you are not getting what everybody else should be getting. And we're keeping it that simple because it's a technical term. So if everybody is getting A and you are getting B, or if everybody is being made to go this way and you are not having the same opportunity to go that way, then we can conclude that you are not getting what you should have also gotten.
In a positive sense, say yen fana se bia me wo difficulty bia menante ana se bia me dyslexic me ntimi read papa enunti me hia moa IT wise enunti na bia maka kire me boss ana se me supervisor or my manager say me hia some moa we endo betimi amama ye adwuma na ya mame professional treatment bia me screen me de be hwe my computer so ye kakra kasin will be ade makunya ye more comfortable than others near there and no say you treat me differently from the others until you know a bit me discrimination but in the positive sense
there is justification for that. Well, we are not saying that so you are the minority under this circumstance. Majority no error. Unless the majority are all saying, say, why are you treating the minority differently from us? But the majority are not complaining that they also want this. It's usually the case a minority will be complaining that they are not getting what the majority are getting. And that's where discrimination comes in. So from major to minor, instead of minor to major.
Now, so complaints in the favor.
Yeah, but it's not a complaint per se. So for the example now, we'll give you, we call it reasonable adjustment. Within the framework of the Equality Act 2010, you have to make reasonable adjustment for somebody under the circumstances SSA in Kawaii or ye no ubia betumi aye ne normal. So you have to find a way to normalize it for certain panel.
Okay.
So normalization and I'm running friend reasonable adjustment. Because when we kiss a reasonable adjustment, I'm a signing panel, then signing panel will rather say you are discriminating against me. Because everybody can do it naturally. But I cannot do it naturally. But you are forcing me to do it naturally, as if I can. I can't. For good reason. And those are the things we are coming to, we are getting to. It could be a protected characteristic, or it could be something that has come up. And therefore, you have to consider that and make an adjustment so that the person will also get to the level of the majority.
Okay.
If the person is not able to get to the level of the majority, then the person will say that it appears that my situation is undermined or I am being discriminated in somehow.
It is circumstance being ubibetimi ejina so aka, not proving it, but sebia on the surface, no. Oh, you hear me say, and until we Emma me feeling say I'm being discriminated against. And then in circumstance they beat me
the word discrimination is broad. Now I'm breaking it down into 4.
Okay.
Your direct discrimination. And no hinges on the 10 protected characteristics. It used to be 9. It's on 10. We're going to go through those characteristics. So the first one is the direct discrimination. And it's so obvious. It's obvious. So we call it overt because it's open.
Okay.
And there was indirect discrimination. And policy no na
Okay.
So discrimination within the framework of the policies and procedures in place.
Okay.
And indirect discrimination. It is covert because one shall who say koso. And there was victimization discrimination or victimization. So wako can be or make you some disclosure within the organization, what we call whistleblowing, for example. Now based on that, near SSN ka winyano farmer ubium. We because you are being undermined because of bibia wokwaye and as a wokwakaye. That is victimization. That also falls under discrimination. And there was harassment. And we bet me say assault in a way. Say bia ye do any ye tentian feel even happy and comfortable. And will fall under discrimination framework. Into your direct, indirect victimization and harassment.
Okay.
Now, under the Equality Act 2010, and the Employment Rights Act 1998, actually in some being at the abwa protecting employees and workers, because the Employment Rights Act, a right of the employee and the worker. Of course, the employer also has rights, but mostly we are looking at the employees and the workers. Equality Act, is broad and encompasses everybody and everything. Inti nyoma ben na ya twea be mu a say siwage wo as an employee na employer no anhwe ne yie na wa odi ho agro a ubetumi agina so aka say or discriminate you directly. Edikan no, we are talking about age. Okay. We are talking about age. Inti age is very crucial. So we are penny, so we are abofra. Age is age. 18 years, you are considered adult, so to speak. So what age is relevant depends on what is happening within the job description as a job setting. But Nyamrani can say you cannot discriminate against people on the basis of their age. Okay. So you can say because of wage you can say the position in my age into me farmer. And why you obvious say me age into one can say mean to me here. But me agency. Does it mean that we call retirement and also can one now? Of course, that's a statutory ceiling. We call retirement, yeah, we call retirement. And see, that's the first point. And here, what disability?
Okay.
The disability no obi Becker say I need a reasonable adjustment. So if you don't make such reasonable adjustment, now say no sir, like everybody else there, then the person can complain that you are not being fair to me.
Okay.
So that's under disability. We also have gender reassignment. We need to say these days, because of let me call it individualism and freedom and liberty. Obia betumi aye ne opese oye. Titru UK memu emra no ede emakwan. To bi uma ya wo no bema. No sisi a menyini mehu se nka sese ye wo me oba. Nti mi ama wo me hu oba.
Change my identity, my sex.
Nti or reassign ne ho. Na ne gender no aye den asesa. Na kire se menye oba biem me ye den bema. Wow. So nimpa we say na waka catch us or bema, will you let the person do a juma na nanka and my eye and as a mema eye? Wa ma ya we. And that's what because it was wako sisande and the kofi. That would be unfair to the person because waka catch raw na wujina so eden e de ye na opese wo ye no. Na wo marriage and civil partnership. Marriage ni the standard one na yenim no oba ne bema. Civil partnership ni oba ni oba, bema ni bema. Imagine say we ejuma no wa put advert na nkrofo abasa o mo ba apply oba wie no a we interview no na hu say anasa wo te say impo wa fa na ejuma wie na wo te say anasa wo hu say on nikunu ni ono ankasa nyina wo mo ye mema anasa wo mu ni nyina ye mba. Civil partnership obaka say me dey me ye Kristo ni nti yanji sa nyama no ntutum nti misrawo. We've made a mistake and employed you. Person will say, well, you are not being fair. Just because you got to know, say, exactly. Because you know that, because of the fact that I'm into civil partnership instead of marriage. Okay. People to go into civil partnership. This has become a protected characteristic. So, you can say protected characteristics, you may be a one emrano a protector. Okay. I didn't hear because emrano who say we are vulnerable. So, what's that, dear noir? So, emrano a protector from vulnerability, age, disability, marriage, civil partnership, gender reassignment. These days, we are even talking about political belief. That is also incorporated. That's why I said it used to be 9, now it's 10. Because almost political belief.
Say, when you in Ghana, see NDC.
Exactly. Very good. That would be discriminatory. Okay. Because when to me can say because of my political belief and ideology, you don't want me to do that which you know I can do. Okay. Then that becomes so. That is also a protected characteristic. And sexual orientation. Is
it the same
civil partnership?
Gender.
Okay, so gender reassignment, what's we oba bema. Sexual orientation, under normal circumstances, a member any emma and eda. Ma any member and eda. But so obi mo see the preference I then assessor into oni your bar so to me or buy then eda. Or a bema, or to me, ni bema and so eda. And I can say, instead of say, Ubeko straight, with the Oko baby, into a cobat, sir, what's the sound orientation? I call it taste, because that's orientation. Into the first say, orientation as a son interest, say, a Jumano, and it's a way. A Jumabia now made me warm about 8-10 years ago, college B. And I almost send the email round. Now almost send the email no as a so be I declare over fill forms. We feel we are not for the common HR. You have to declare your sexual orientation. And nimpa way no or declare no or say or your bar or so to mean mem a bar eda into your sexual orientation and no. And now or send the coins now no reply no. Or more reply no more reply to all the workers. Almost send email globally. Into a more mutimi who in terminal who say, oh, yenua way, say not here. It's an infringement on the part of HR. That's data breach. But that's a different conversation. But the woman says, Sasani Power, imagine say be a manager be. A woman say, hey, son not here. And yet, a Jumano crown, I say, we show me here. Then, because of in a way be, naturally said the person has become what? Vulnerable.
Okay.
And it's that in your man no pregnancy, and so eka hubi, race, eka hubi, religious belief, eka hubi. So in your man no yekakambu you see they are protected characteristics. And the question is, which of the characteristics do you have in the workplace?
Okay.
It's like me African, me fi a bibrim. Maka say me race ninti. So me ko interview because I'm black. And I pay the people succeed in that. Provided say you can say because of sa adie ninti and no more sa adie na iden etiao. Now we know all the characteristics.
Okay.
Nti say employer no ye bribi etiao because of one of these characteristics then that becomes direct discrimination.
But then lawyer, it makes us say, if I'm going into any employment, now me what any of these characteristics are you protected now? Do I necessarily have to declare it so that my employer ne be who say me what sa feature into I was say or protecting me, I won't treat me differently, am I disadvantaged?
So there is what we call equality monitoring scheme or program. Buying introduce to our employers as a some way they follow. Until recruitment and selection processes no who go through one of the forms no a application form. Then you go to the selection, then you be succeed, you become application form no share a no form be or will be so race, will be so this, will be so normal bebre sexual orientation. A bimo will say I prefer not to say it. But he can also choose to declare. And he would declare, so I would say as part of the monitoring program, no, the employers monitor to know how many of the people within these characteristics are being given opportunity. I have found equal opportunities. First, Nanka is mainly for race. Background to this, na ye race. Crofose me ye tuntumi ya koko, intimi ejumano, na ye race. And gender. So obani mema more opportunity compared to emma ewe ejumum. In the quality monitoring program no buy no is to let employers declare as part of their profile how many of their staff are from ethnic minority and the mainstream, how many are women, how many are men, the age range, and so on and so forth. So there is equal opportunity across board.
Okay.
So the employers are asked to declare, depending on the regulatory agent body noir or money dealing.
Okay. Well, Sir Afi and joining, we're looking at this very interesting discussion where we would want to prove at the workplace that we are being discriminated against. Now, we started the discussion, what are the forms of discrimination? And then, and a bit to me, why you're discriminated against. Now, Laura has started with the things that overtly so things we can point to say that these are things that may make me be discriminated against. Now, what my protected characteristics are there are 10 of them. Sexual orientation, your gender, ability or disability. Now I'm going to ask Laura to take us into the realm of the things that are not clearly visible. The covert ones are, and no bit me am I discriminated against. Then we'll move into the situation where, especially with the covert ones, Sebeya you bit me. I say, Sadi we any pay ye inti me ye me or are me treated differently to my disadvantage, and that's what the focus is. Let's come back to Sa issue. Not say, are there some of the characteristics that are hidden?
So the indirect discrimination or the covert aspect, usually, senior your boss, I just always shared how things are being done at the workplace, and the way I manage workplace, is informed by the policies and procedures.
Okay.
And to be a policy, no back say, you fact nkrofo a edi maximum of 30 years.
Okay.
So which aspect of the characteristics ni abosi? You nkrofo edi up to 30.
There's an age discrimination.
Age na aba no. Nti wabro 30 a wono yemfa wo ejuma. Na omo aye bold within their selection and recruitment policy. Then in a way, even though Oman can say we agency, but Oman setting out say when you are wunya. Obi baka say what the employer is justifiable because be adwuma no mo pem jamono. Because when you say na bia yentumi enya ho mfaso. But the question is, Emrano say you cannot do bibia ebema nipa no onya sa opportunity na afufro ebenya no. Afufro ne sa nkrofo na young people no up to 30 no. Or more over 30 no, more or less they are not going to get that opportunity or they will be treated differently. And within the policy we can pick something up. Recruitment and selection policy we can pick something up. Let's say training. I can say, okay, we offer training. By training, we offer in-house training and external training, or even foreign training. Now, there's more you don't want to call abroad to train. You be or more a certain role, and that's a certain age, and that's a certain ability. Like I said, what they win do while they be internal training, and that's a home base. And to be more abroad for training, because the policy is couched in a way in favor. Some people to me at and say, hang on, what's going on here? Is it because of this, and that? That's why you have targeted says some crofo or training there should always be locally based.
But if it is set out before you are employed, then obviously you don't have a case.
Right. Now, you are saying, your culture will say, this is what it is. But again, the law is clear. Say, you are intending to. And because of that, more or less, one person will be okay. Because it's likely, say, I will not have opportunity. So in this case, the BWF because okay, but while we are so because I hang on, you stretch no kakra na nhwe say your family adwuma yi a saa efidie no ebeyi mi ana. E no mo mpɛ say efidie no beyi mi no a makɔ akɔfa ɛhɔ no nti. Me de won akɔfa ɛhɔ no nti. Omo mama ya aware so that they don't even select me. Okay. And this also includes pre-selection, selection, and post-selection processes. And even within your advertisement, in terms of selection process, what advertise, no certain language, cry here. We go to pick you up. Say even your marketing approach, your advertisement, the vacancy publication, is obvious.
You have established an institutional form of discrimination.
Exactly, so to speak. And so then it becomes idea employers are aware and they have to operate within the confines of the law. So that is why some of these things now echo out on behalf of employers. They are very, very particular because the wording alone can trigger aspect of discrimination. Okay. Now, Ibia pay. Okay, say we used to have Equal Pay Act. And also I share Equality Act because Equality Act 2010 is an amalgamation of different laws. Okay. And we better say, okay, you are doing the same job, but somebody is getting more than the others. Somebody can pick that up. Say, hang on, what's going on here? Unless the policy is quite clear in terms of the quantum of work that goes into it.
That brings to mind. Let's say, sir, a relatively new employee. Na grader, ya fa woman, obi at sansa grade and also several years. And oba and one and start the same pay. Can the person say, nipa sumesi oba unya that experience as much as I have. Until so I'm the same pay until I feel that I'm being discriminated against. Would that person be right?
Now, unless nipa no can say your grade you 1, 2, 3
within the band.
Within sa band do say you be shoot na 2 and 3 because of number of years away ejuma no one na oda omo ma ba nyina no abeka no ho number 1. Then the person will have a point. Why you not pushing me up? Is it because of any of the characteristics? But say grade no 1 set out. It's just like in the Bible. When the people say, why is it that those who were here in the morning, those who came in the afternoon, those who came in the evening were all getting the same wage? And the owner says, you are getting what I told you I will give you. You have no reason to complain. It's mine to give to the others. So what it is that all those people, as long as they are performing the same job, as long as they have the same set of skills required for the job, as long as they are performing the role, then they have to be given the same wage. Equal pay.
Equal pay.
So, untuminka say, oh, I'm being discriminated against. Because it's simple. Unless the policy is structured so that we have different levels within the same band, Now when you shoot two up there, then it becomes an issue.
Okay. Yenyaba could be the question be Abba, and we have it on the screen. The British Army have age limit for their recruits. Does it amount to age discrimination?
So here, the British Army, somebody can pick, but there will be justification for it.
Okay.
Because it's also a case of protection of health and safety. Who call army where the 60? Then I will call here. And you mean
officer.
And you mean
Yeah.
And then you can come. So what just here? And sa age will be justifiable because of the specific nature of the job. It's not just about brain. It requires physical activity, strenuous work. And see, jagum so biya mremu biya, and you are not being fair to more money,
Okay.
Why are you putting all of us into the same basket? Meneme and what is different? Even though experience is different, where you are holding.
So it comes to maybe an aspect of positive discrimination. It demands certain qualities, certain characteristics, even though it may be protected in other spheres. In certain areas, quote unquote protected there, and you without that you can't perform that job. And no be an army for you.
And no be an army for you.
Okay.
Also, we call city firms say or more far professionals are more young people, so that they can stay for a long time to benefit the organization.
Right.
Imagine if I went away the 60, or pension, few years. If I saw Ben, I would back. And to what you can say, for good reasons, certain things are allowed, but it has to be clearer and justifiable, so that the employer can be excused from discrimination.
Okay. Now we're coming to the point of my question. How do I successfully prove, I'm being discriminated against? How do I do that at work? That's the main crux of my program this afternoon. Who said discrimination? Some are very open and overt, some are covert. Some because of the nature of the job, and you can say we need our qualification, we need our characteristic, but my regiment, how do I prove? Sa pay, sa a year, a sa organization way, or discriminating against me? We are live on the community and the law, live on BWTV, live on BW Radio, live on BWF Solicitors Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn, all the social media platforms. Mekai was extra enumerate 7 p.m. On the BW Radio. The audio version of this program will be rebroadcast in T-shirt Sosa. Or if you missed the live one, you can go back to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and pick it up and watch along with us anytime. So, what question or concern there, you still can send it. May Kai was say joining in via voice and that's phone caller 07399 208-468, or you can send your text or WhatsApp or voice notes to 07950422780. How do I successfully to prove that I am being discriminated against at work? Like, how do I do that?
Yeah, so before I ever call the point of proving where, you know, Obi baby say, then actually said, I call you discriminatory. Because sometimes you may be because you who say it is hard. So I'm going to go through some examples.
Okay.
Now, say you were direct, you were indirect, you were victimization, and you were harassment. And the young friend would be to say, someone saying hurtful things or attacking you repeatedly. And to say attack you repeatedly or hurtful things are being said repeatedly about you or against you in the workplace. Could that be discriminatory in nature? Yes, because that can come under potentially harassment.
Okay.
Because we have mentioned, say, 4. You were direct, indirect, victimization, and harassment. Another one is being made fun of. It could be, say, color. It could be, say, disability be a war. It could be of something. Na obi no bia nipa no ntumi control no ho nti o make fun of that can also it makes the person uncomfortable.
Okay.
That's harassment. A bit is say being excluded or left out. Excluded from what and left out of what? Bia training obi anya no wo de yama obi. And I say, be training no, your mouth, I'll call a broche no more training, would ye de biano with the local one year the mouth. And now so say, Bia, your certain benefits be a cost wage mumuho, would ye your mouth be. But who's some conform so aiding, enya. And you may be promotion be a only number, would ye win be. They be any more excuse, come on. These are. So you can say Nimpano or go through discrimination because the person is being left out of the benefit or the opportunities available in the workplace. Ebi it is say ebi culture will say being made to do hurtful or inappropriate things, even though the way and yet regular in the workplace, sometimes it happens. Into being asked to do hurtful and inappropriate things, can also come into the domain of discrimination. Because the person can say he or she is being harassed because you are doing things against your will. And in your man in kitinkiti bitisano ekoso and threatening behaviors, and also will fall under the discrimination and sometimes you see people ganging up against one person in a workplace. It's what they say. But the point is say, we call large firms in organizations now. You have a broad range of race. We can see say, crofobia. You can see say, we do hope no major. It makes you feel uncomfortable. What will be going on? Until you do all there, you don't get to participate in that and come on. And the BBC it is signing now. No, to me, I pick. No, I can say, hang on. Is it because of something I did?
Could it also be, sir, for instance, be a people that come from the same area and they speak a similar language. Now, more office, maybe find some more an office that's have 6 people. 4 of them come more or less from the same area, or they speak the same language, or probably they even support the same team. And you always find them grouping and having their conversation, their discussion, not to the exclusion of and I identify with them as a group. Can that person complain, say he's being discriminated against?
I mean, say association being a what they are saying, they also park or join it, sir, and they won't pay more crowd, which might continue be the way to develop your interest in football. But you mentioned one thing, say language. Imagine, say, be organization, you were different people. Now, different people, no, the common language, yes, is potentially will be English. Now, more often than not, we don't use the English, but we use our other language of the minority, and it be a minority, not a majority. Then, in Panua, until to say, most of our viewers feel that they are being discriminated against, simply because those minority groups, they don't understand the majority language. And the majority language they use ideas all the time. So they feel left out.
Right.
I do when you see a workplace, some people feel left out, can say, why don't we use a language and you are able to make it at here? So you to me in Kopu. Now, Ojai a German because of that, the person can pick up and say, well, this is the person can feel a harassment in a way, because harassment doesn't always have to be physical assault or battery, but the person can feel no, I don't feel comfortable because of me do hope na language na sesa. Me won hope na that aspect, there's a language and I don't see or hear what is going on. But then how do you until sa idea no be our course and workplace be sa course some minority individual and a group no can say the language should be, so the policy should be such that when we are at the workplace, the language should be formal. Just for the benefit of more as a minority.
They feel left out.
Exactly. Okay. Or when let's say we are attending a meeting or a training, the language should be this language. Then it is set out. So that the individual back you call a break. Then you come something else there. And you can't say I didn't know about break and I'm on Kankasa Metibi. I mean, that was a different matter. Right. But we are looking at the workplace formal conversation, and that's a language I use generally.
Okay. So then let's come to the question: how do I prove that I'm being discriminated against?
So, as I said, you have to identify which of the characteristics, and I will feel say you are because a war hununti and na air koso.
Okay.
Is it because it be a color? And now it be because of the way I Okasa accent. And now say be why? So you have to identify that. And whether that characteristic is protected.
Okay.
So you have to identify that. You also have to check what we call comparator. Comparator is it for everybody or for me alone? Is this happening to everybody? Okay. So it's not just a matter of saying, this has happened, so this is it. Is it happening to everybody? If it's happening to everybody, then you are not being singled out.
Okay.
But say, and yet idea happening to everybody there, then you ask yourself, why is it happening to me alone? Or to us alone? So comparator is very important. What do you have to compare against or to compare to? That will give you indication that something is wrong somewhere. So if you can't identify that comparator, no way who say you are denied opportunity or you are going through something and others are not going through there, then it's difficult to prove your case. Then we move on to Wewe and Nono. Then you look at what is happening in terms of the way our organization, what does the policy say? Let's give a classic example.
Yeah.
Say, BBAC na, when something happens, there is a policy direction. The policy, it might be, say, disciplinary policy. The employer never find a disciplinary policy, so now they are there. Imagine, say, BBC, the policy is not what? Followed. Now, edu me so no, and I say, yes, I do so because you were waiting to do the same thing. But for whatever reason, once you follow policy, no.
Okay.
Then there's something wrong. Then you ask yourself, is it because of one of the characteristics now I associate with, or is it because they were actually waiting to act? And when you buy, then they have picked the form or the policy to say, this is it. There is one instance I see long ago. Now it was on capability. And he was teaching. It was a teaching, you have to go through observation. You have upstairs observation, but as part of our capability assessment. So you go through observation. Today, a year observation every term, 3 times in a year. Now, maybe or go to my colleague or go through an observation. One time no grade 3. Grade 3 no so when grade 3 when you say first not and satisfactory, but since inadequate. So you have to get 2 or 1. No, you are 3. When you are 3, treating informal, today normal. What they needed to do, they didn't do it. And another almost an observation be when you are 3. And I feel almost sure say when you are 3 and we are going to invoke the capability policy because you can't perform the job. They miss the fact the policy says once you identify at first instance, you have to identify interventions, including training and support. Into your man pick it up. Then nimpa na ekodu point say realizing almost no. If we do anything by going by the policy to dismiss her, we will not succeed. Okay. Because we haven't done what we needed to have done by our own policy. Okay. All right. In the sign panel it's one of say but let's say for example say signing power we are yan dismissal. The second person is dismissal. Third person is dismissal on the grounds of capability. Now obedient dismissal. Let's say Nimpano is happen to be maybe falling within one of the protected characteristics there. In the Nimpano say hang on, I don't know. The same thing AC Nimpa we so onyabia grade 3 4 times and eventually or come up no be grade 2 or 1. One ye bibia by me dear mo yese. Excuse me. And it's just a weather number. And with this one, Nipambaka said, you did not follow the policy when it happened to somebody. But you are now following the policy to deal with me on that same issue.
In that case, then you're discriminating.
In that case, at what point in time did you realize it is time to use the policy?
Okay. So in that case, Nipa no episode prove or obenya will be precedent.
Exactly. Comparator. Exactly. So what has the precedent is very important. What happens in the workplace? What we call the convention or the practice. What is the practice? So if the practice is this and it's not being followed and it's being done differently against somebody there, Nipa said no. Then there is a point of discrimination.
If the policy says Nipano be a year assessment, grade 3 be a year insufficient, and nti yebetimi unya be a grade 3 mienu miensa yebetimi ama call through certain procedures to improve upon yourself. If you're not able to improve upon yourself, yebetimi a yiwedi. That is what the policy is. Whoever is the manager, be a 3 grade 3s. When follow some procedure, but a chew drew would you so you who said every say number city until we have to apply the law. Does it mean say ubetimi any for that can say won't mean punish me because one punish will be before?
That's the point I'm making. Is that at what point in time did we realize that son and ran it here? Because unless I'm run, I feel you introduce you. But say I'm right or what that they are. Then why has it not been followed? Now all of a sudden, you be follow. To my detriment.
Can you go on to say you can't punish me because one follow Emrano in a previous situation?
Then so it's who employer will struggle to defend that claim.
Okay.
Say that is how it is done. If that is how it is done, let's say nimpa way it me approve say that is not how it is done all the time. Because those before me now minimum way now no man then why are you doing it to me? Then it will be weak for the employer to be able to defend that claim.
Let me go one step beyond. Say they prove abba say I'm being discriminated against but then I cannot substantiate it. And no actually no me who bet me actually me
and no actually no say koba say nea ukoye ninti ye tan weni na ukoye ninti na ese say ye de man rokwa ye fa ma obiem na ukoka ye na upri uye ninti bibi a ese senka eba wonchen bia no ye de ko baby foforo a ye hwe ni bi na ye obibi a then that will be victimization. That is also discrimination. So you can bring another action because it's at any point in time the action is the time of that incident. And to say, see now, you have 3 months, if, for example, for you to go to tribunal, but you have to go through the processes because we want to make sure that your claim is successful. So you cannot bring any flimsy claim. I want to mean something and substantiate it because any kind of you raise a point with your employer informally. So why this, why that? You move on to the standard point. Concern I will be raised, IFN grievance, So there will be a grievance procedure or policy I will be follow. So then you go to tribunal. That's the proper thing to happen. Yes, I was sorry, now we'll call tribunal. But the point I will question will be say because I will challenge you be a be or Jumani and also your discrimination. Yes. In the first about Kunansa, you know, before I start, and say, wouldn't me and bring it another action.
Okay. Covenant Grace, thank you very much for joining us. Esibotre Adam Tuga, Emmanuel Nemako, and Edudwa Muatline. So thank you so very much. Now I'm going to allow you to ask questions as well. Now, wait to me after 07399208468 07399208468. And answer over texting in 07950422780. Before you come in, or before I pick any of the comments from our comment section on both YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn or the other platforms, the person may be and say, me prove successfully, say I'm being discriminated against at work. What do I get?
Thank you very much. So all you are seeking is redress. And the advice I had to say, you start with the employer. That's the starting point. Informally, you raise the concern with your line manager. It might be, say, and your idea, nipan kra, najuni eden, it was so. Then they will understand the concern I want to then address it. So it becomes a Q&A activity at this stage, informally.
Okay.
Say a cost still a cost, then you raise it formally as a grievance. Then you follow the procedure where you have to send the grievance to. And also no anye juma, then you go to court, IFN employment tribunal.
Okay.
Now, even that, you can ask ACAS to intervene for you on your behalf. ACAS is the independent body. They will come in and look at what is happening and make sure say the right things are done. Now, say when you know a Jumana will court tribunal, you are asking the tribunal to make an order first. Because if the tribunal is not able to make an order is the confirmation say there is discrimination in the workplace against you. because your protected characteristic has been infringed upon, so to speak, be it directly, indirectly, or by victimization or by harassment. Then, ordinarily, the court will then have to, of course, they have to make a determination, make the order. Now, obisa almost a then a wankasans nangaza no upe. If you want the employer to be aware so that it doesn't happen again. And anti sasane etie dia ebi kura na bia promotion bi anka ese de ma wo na yamfa ma wo. Nti se wo ko na you prove right, then it has to be reinstated. So it might be say afi the bed ya de be ma wo.
Would I be right in asking for any financial compensation?
Compensation is also there, depending on the extent of effect on you. So now your boss, you can direct, indirect, you can victimization and then harassment. Most of the time, say a case of harassment, you may be able to get compensation because then it goes into element of assault.
Okay.
But say victimization, say be a necessary the man young farmer, unless say because the young farmer will lose economically or financially there, then we can look at what else you have lost. By the fact say young farmer and yes, center
okay.
The court make determination say the man bet me or that employer and say omunye what is right for you. And the point you make, I think, for this comedy no money na say you say discrimination is a legal act. And at the same time, say employer no enhu ne so ye na of 40 employee no onim what ought to be done about by the employer no, but to me I picking up say no, what you've done is against the law.
Okay, my main questions concerns so the obey me afraid 0739920848 and I'll say we send the text 0795042270. I've this text here or say as a British citizen is house contract part of the application requirement to bring your wife? HSC contract, that's what he says. I don't know what that means. HSC, or say HSC contract, that's what I said.
Well, I don't know what HSC. HSC could stand for anything, but let me say tenancy agreement and I say whatever it is, but to bring your wife to the UK and I say partner to the UK, the law is clear under Appendix FM. You have to prove you say uye juma wo ahoden sika famu a obetumi da hwe honhone weyere ne nkwala omwo mu a omunya British nkwala so prove you say omo ba omo meye burden on the state in terms of accommodation into baby a wote no eso enough for yourself and ne weyere so when weyere there you only share one bed, so that's fine, it doesn't matter. But some nkwala wo mu dia ene omo age no ehwo na ye be hwe say ene ye say we dey we making sure say accommodation a bigger than and we meet all the requirements dear, then this has nothing to do with discrimination. This is pure immigration rule requirement. Meaning what HSC stands for.
Another you say a tenancy agreement.
Yeah, I think you are also. You need to have tenancy agreement because when you baby da, we don't know for be say only ne better.
Okay. Until just say here say
beg
you tenancy agreement to come approve
say oh baby and not just say oh baby name baby overcrowded because that would be against the Housing Act 1985 bit cultural say overcrowding very serious and he say ukofo obi aba na be create the place be overcrowded na be create health and safety hazard any issues there. And the overcrowded say when you're ready. Into tenancy should be able to take that box.
Okay. Well, another text to her or say or yeah be court retirement. na opeso ma notice but or annual leave no mo oma notice no whilst he's on annual leave and as on train annual leave no inwi answer would the annual leave be counted as part of the notice period?
Right, so nipa so obekwa retirement usually obekwa retirement mpo dia I mean ebro so a because a standard unya sa age no a that is your sada no after sada no untimi nye adwuma because wapim enti so wapim dia prior to that no omone obey den employer no ya is aware say ubekọ retirement anyway nti nkomodie no ade no bekọ so for pension purposes ni ade and I'm not sure say you have to go and tell your employer say me retirement no be so of course nkomodie no ekọ so they know and we also know.
Okay, we're back. We temporarily lost our sound there, but fortunately we're back. And now
annual leave,
annual leave, or co-retirement,
yes,
and or annual leave. So the notice period, can he count the leave towards the end of the thing?
Because now the leave no a woman ya no ane dia. Nti emfa say leave no beso no kra no na ne time no aso so okwa na retirement no. Employers can even agree that okay, the remaining leave period no will be converted into pay for you to be added to the last pay no. Imagine say bia we are accumulating the leave because it's allowed. Now or will be at 3 months womb. So 3 months no so ebe ni nyina no ebe so no na wa call retirement dada. Obewo extra 1 month on use here. The employer by compromise can agree say all right, no you are on leave. Ubeko retirement ebe so that way. You say you are not coming after this time. So you are not even coming, you are not even reporting before you start your retirement. Inti Bruna Akano, the debate you
okay. 0739920848. And also say over send the text 0795042278. When say when ya ejuma and the I think it's about the care worker route here. When your employment now the form or the organization has paid for the visa application and your friend or some manage the visa no. Or fill a form or can say or Emma. Okay, I said I have children. Ne man no obetimi ni omo aba straight away and now say omra no me settle and sana wakwakofa ne manaba.
A choice. Okay. And because a choice, you look at what is best for you. Maybe I knew what I just said for one breast is here. Maybe I know what I just said and for one bass is here. Do you want to make a decision?
Family, you can go in and settle.
Well, not because the way declare no. Obviously, it's our family application form requires because the baby solves those questions. But the point that I make is family. Can you bring your family? You can come with them at the same time at Woba, or they can join you later. Okay. I think it's a matter of common sense approach. Obi beka say winning bibi yama ba kunko na onko settle na nya yaka no yen join no because yen nyina ye kwa accommodation ni ade no employer no will not consider your family and give you bigger accommodation. If you remember one room to sort yourself out, it is only your family nearby. The other one, and your employer an issue. So this is a common sense approach. Nipa no be take it okay, and the me call. Na ma settle, maybe a few months no, or my day, I be join me. And it's entirely nipa no ne discretion.
Wouldn't the person be facing any difficulty? Because what can say form also? Maybe the expectation is to travel with them from the beginning. Now, why only one? Very soon. Then you want to avoid paying extra application fee and the rest of it. The Ankawi in the beginning, you might have included some discounts here and there. Such challenge, would the person face it?
Well, at the end of the day, the case worker does not expect to say what new family in our application a skilled worker no application.
Okay.
Worker no our sponsor skilled worker no or sponsor one person. But because of family life, that's why the families will join, and the law allows our family to join. Ubi abeka say okay, say you apply at the same time or be cheaper. Fine, you do your cost benefit analysis and say if I do it now, it's cheaper than doing it later, so I will do it now. Or if I do it later, it will be cheaper for me, so let me do it later. No law will say the 1 year on they didn't apply with you, so they won't get it. No, there's nothing like that. Okay. Until you work entirely what is best for you under your specific circumstance.
Okay. Lawyer, I'm not picking your text because you've added your name. I want to hide it. Or say about UK on an entertainment visa to come and perform. Now, because I was allowed to work at that time because I received money, can I say that I have a work permit and I can seek employment differently from what I came to do?
And the entertainment visa no is still valid?
Well, I want to assume so.
Yeah, so usually those people are mobile for such activities, they are visiting the UK to perform a certain activity and go back. They are not coming as sponsored employees.
Okay.
It is a be entertainment, mobile 1 week. We are visa no will be for a period,
I'm thinking, say the validity, for instance, for that period, and be by the weekend of October, what for me every. But your visa is still valid for the next 6 months or maybe.
So your visa is still valid. Now be when your employer be. Not so the employer will look at all the options to see whether your circumstance will allow that employer to give you sponsorship. Sponsorship is not just for care. Obia yabafane ejuma ewo UK memu bia no a oye foreigner no. The employer will have to sponsor them for work permit purposes.
Okay.
And the sanimpa we be an employer no baka say all right. Your visa allows you to do XYZ job. So that job no the buy no entertainment job no. And there will be a condition in the visa. Say some of them are more classified as visit. Because you are visiting to perform a certain activity.
Okay.
Now we are welcome. You are visiting lecturers, visiting religious ministers. They come preach and go. Yes, they are coming to work for that particular person. No, could even be a voluntary or charity work. Into where we are, the expect is over there. In this whole convert here, it is up to the employer to see, say, is this something that I can switch? Because the employer also have to do due diligence.
Okay.
And if the employer check, if say, okay, that's fine, we can convert you there or may convert But some of you say they can't convert here, ordinarily, they may give the employment, no one could fee, no one could visa, no the other.
Okay. 07399208468 079 0950-422780 and not a year for text. Those of you on the platform, somebody is just being naughty on there, so ignore all that. Na yemfa and komono and to us. So Iwo bako line so a text message. Sorry, we a say can I be sued for depriving my child's father from visiting?
Right. So we are going to family.
Can I be sued?
Well, be a papa no bet me the na court.
Oh, okay.
Unless a papa no busu afford na abandon to me anyway. But point in say na nimpe e kan say on pese akwala ne papa ebeben no. Ebeben akwala no. Ebi so ana papa yi ohia akwala won abrabom for obvious reasons. Machum. What's one person about Ben? Ban no.
Never know. Yeah.
But what papa is want me for so on them.
Okay.
Into the best is agreement now in juma between the two of you there. Or do be court. And yes, oh, see you per se. See is a big word. It's a strong word.
That's what I was wondering.
So, yes, Yatina Samrasi. So you are right. Obey to me the work of court. It's a court emblem.
Okay.
Now, unya kwai
MSF probably going to seek for an order.
Yes, so yeah, the conversation last week, you have was it Friday? Yeah, I think there was a question on that. So, child arrangement order. So the person will go for child arrangement order. Say, I want an order from the court to give me access to my child. Akwala will not be living with me, what we call lives with order, but I want to have spend time with. Nti obenya omre a wodi be hu akwalai ubekọ fie ho akwasra no akwalai so baba besra obi and your family thing, so you make an application to court, section 8 application to court. Nti so yenwe no na obi sadia you better say yes by not suing as in suing per se, but the person is just telling the court to say or no entry agree on how I mobile akwala no santi court embremu now we'll make a decision, Emamo.
Okay. 0739920848, 0795042278. Very interesting questions coming up. Lawyer, why did you name the organization? Okay. Let me see if I can take the organization out. Any organization be a year Juma, who said there were acts of discrimination, and until or reported my two superiors, and they did not treat the matter fairly, and I felt bad, so I am asking that lawyers represent me so I can get monetary compensation. How do I go about it?
Right. The topic is how do I successfully prove it? We use some words, acts of discrimination. What was it?
Okay.
How do you know, sir, where your discrimination? Then party and how did you conclude? Into a formulated activity you go through to determine say it is possible. Say it's either direct, indirect, victimization or harassment has taken place. So we want to know what happened and who did what. Then we move on to say not fairly treated. What is not fairly treated? What does the policy say? What did the organization do differently?
Okay.
Is that what you mean by not fairly treated? If that is the case, we want to know what the policies say about that issue and what did the organization do about it. And after that, how did the organization react towards you after that incident? So we want to know all this. And we also want to see whether this has happened before by somebody in the organization.
Okay.
And how it was treated, which makes yours different. Once you put all this together, then you are arriving at a conclusion that say potentially could be one of those 4 forms of discrimination. Then you make an application to court, provided conversation has not worked, provided formal grievance has not worked, and you want to go to court, then you, however, have to make an application within 3 months from the date of the incident.
Oh, okay.
So you want to know how long ago, because this is strict time bound when it comes to employment tribunal matters. Unless it's gone to ACAS, and ACAS is investigating, then we have what we call stop the clock. So within time now, ACAS, the 3 months will not count. So then it will continue.
Okay.
Then, so we want to know all this before you can say whether you can go to court or not.
It brings to mind a question. Maybe I'll follow up on it and ask, sir. There's redundancy, as you explained, your nuggets. But then the person feels that I'm being made redundant, even though there may be legitimate reasons why the organization has to restructure, there's this, that, and the rest of it. But I feel that I wasn't the only person to have been made redundant. Other people, or another person who probably is less efficient than myself. No, maybe the person has been kept in the organization instead of me. And also, can I try and put that in the framework of discrimination?
You cannot conclude unless it's obvious that there is. Because redundancy is a different conversation. We have to check whether the employer ticked all the boxes and why is it that some people were left behind. There is voluntary redundancy and involuntary redundancy.
Okay.
It's a say yema nkrofo bimu kofia because of senior insistan yakoba we adwuma ni mu na COVID ni Ukraine ni nyoma bi nti nyoma no kwa yento. We cannot operate at a loss. So the common sense potentially may be that we close down.
Okay.
We are going to close down, but we adwuma no ketua bi hye to kromu ho aye betumi arani. But the aye no ho no enye posh to say ne aye no wa ha no. So we make a choice. Say, do I want to go or I want to stay for reconsideration? So like I said, the employer has to make alternative arrangement. So alternative arrangement in what? You go through the process, consultation process. Into I say, wow, per se, say na akoba, wow, per se, ukofie no, ma wonsaso, na yem pay you off. Yen fancy yenue, wa man nsaso. That means opeso stay. Then employer has to select. Be a we have 5. Person nipa mienu na stay on because edwuma ni so. Ni be say okay, mu 5 no mu nyina mu person mu stay no. Edwuma na e ho na e chekuru mu ho no. E bi a e manpower edwuma. Mu pe ana. Yan friends so mu nyina say yes. Then they have to start the process of interviewing them, recruitment and selection, as if they are new candidates. Because they have to be fair. So let me give you an example. Again, back in the days when I was teaching, there was this college. It became obvious redundancy within the business department. Maybe I'm not tried, Now we were about 4 teachers. No, 5. But now I say only here 3 pet. Tinese me nu kofie. Why na we na kofie? Into omu je atu no me say wa pesa wo kɔ no ma wonsa so. Ba ko pɛ na ɔka so ɔbɛkɔ. Nti na nya ya aka ne de ya pɛ adwuma no. Ba adwuma no so hours na aka no esua. Ye ka bomu a ye nya full time. Omu so ntumi omu pɛ sɛ ɔmbɛyɛ obia part time. Santi we had to go through the process again. Nti omu make the job vacant officially. No more advertising here internally for us to apply. So we applied, we were interviewed, we had to do micro teaching and went through the process, and 3 of us were successful. And the rest, when they told them, say, the interview is over, you are officially unsuccessful. This time, no, you are redundant. We go through interview and a 1 year then, 1 year successful. So the question is, okay, I'm not successful, I'm going. So you pay me off per redundancy compensation policy. And it's an empower. I don't know where he or she fits. I see be more kahwa omuye juma. Media omama koye. Is it because he or she accepted voluntarily to go, or say go through interview no, or no 1 year successful? And how do you prove that 1 year successful at the interview because of any of the characteristics now, but not your competence at the time of assessment? So there are a lot of things to be made available, information that we have to assess, then we can conclude that there is element of discrimination or not. Because if at the point of interview, something went wrong based on any of the protected characteristics there, then we can say, be a nurse, I point on him. I'm say, oh, ukra wa kwanyem dia, send the kwajibi, redundancy ni bi na ko. Because you to me in train, now we stay, now we imagine maternity, now we say my back. Then that one, pregnancy.
Well, it's a very interesting area of discussion. Lawyer Charles Asmah has done so much justice to the topic. Maybe is all questions, all concerns, no big brave. But let them have it. Let us have it. BWF Solicitors are ready. Say Obetie wa 7 afe we yano ade ama, and they will signpost you to the right places and to the right answers when it is that you have an issue. Yabana fe and then we can see a employment quiz and komo bebre. We'll be right back and we'll be looking at our quiz for today. The question is very interesting, and I believe with the discussion and the nuggets you will find it quite easy and very, very straightforward to answer. But then, let's be right back. We pay tribute and, of course, say thank you to BWF Solicitors, Nai Abaya Kwezo. And stay there, we'll be right back.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws, there are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Well. BWF Solicitors. Inti uma yenuwon inni and komo. Free one was 0208 493 7340. 0208 7340. BWF Solicitors are trusted legal partners when it comes to the law. Abano say you call with all the confidence because all the kofa baby na anya masa wasobe pa. For 30 years, the senior partner has been serving the community on broken service. And when him say even 1 year be out this year he would have learned 30 different things all over. But wabin we year pa about BWF Solicitors. More fe young call young quiz on the balance and no crown. Mamin fa a year young nugget no embryo view na minkin kind senior for no eddy a brain. Was a redundancy is usually a type of dismissal when a role is no longer needed. The employer should only consider making redundancies if part or all of the organization is closing or has already closed, is changing and the types or the numbers roles needed are changing, especially to do certain types of work, and the organization probably is also changing location. The employer may look at alternatives to redundancy. However, before an employer selects anyone for redundancy by law, they must follow a consultation and selection process. You will normally be entitled to statutory redundancy pay if you have worked for your employer for more than 2 years, or 2 years or more, as the law says. Okay, Eliana Abusia, na minkofa me question no emfa emra. Are you ready? Pam param. Kind question now. Kwaku Bako, an employee of Afrikiko Cinema, and 50 other employees were placed on furlough in March 2020, COVID time, for what they expected to be a temporary closure due to the national COVID-19 restrictions. The company announced later via its social media that it was closing permanently, and the staff were all laid off without notice consultation, without notice period or consultation. Brought an action at the Employment Tribunal, that is ET. What is likely to be the outcome of the case? The claim will fail because the nation was under COVID-19 restrictions. 2, the claim will succeed because the government should have intervened. And NAFI was saying the claim will succeed because the employer should have consulted the employees affected. Kwakubako, Afrikiko Cinema na oye juma wo no mo ye juma wo ni na ye 50 plus Kwakubako na 51. And Mukai say COVID ba ye no mo ye so adwuma ni bebre ntimi entua o monti o the fellow scheme be by program yi so ye chichire mu a bebre. I pray and on Facebook, Twitter, na say YouTube pages so mo de control so say Afrikiko Cinema ye guno enye adwuma bio. Enti obi bia we adwuma obi ampacho obi ani ho a ye be fa na adwuma bio because adwuma na gu. No, they call Employment Tribunal. What will be the likely outcome of the case? Claim or the coin? The claim will fail because sometimes the whole of the country were under COVID restrictions. There was nothing they could do. Claim no will succeed because the government should have intervened. That was buying a bemu, and or the court tribunal. You will pay BB at the Amakwe Kuba Kwana said, Yabeka Paso. Now, 3, the claim will succeed because the employer should have consulted the employees affected. So, I 51, I was enka or ball more amania said, Adiano, Yaba Ababe Yimu Eti, Inti, Mama Yankwe. Eti, on one side there, is it 1, is it 2, is it 3? Put your answers in the comment section and answer by sending the text at the Abremi or 07950422780 07950422780 and answer the better comment section also at the I think most of the comments that have come, I am not able to put them on there, but yeah, I can find it on my small screen here in T. Ode tuswa may na fe yade ama abusenfo ade ama yen Willie Achampon Akolo, you're watching. Thank you very much for watching. So and I were Emmanuel Nimako, Adam Tuga, SC Boche, Covenant Grace, Akosia Apia, and all the rest. More motion with me a day will comment no Abba. Well, this time around, let me go to lawyer straight away. Lawyer, you share question about mode ma yen boswe na you share answer na be.
Yo, senior, yeah, we boss no. Employer no a redundancy activity because of near SCO adwuma no ho no. Anti near as I say, oya ne say, obama mo aya we say na eden ekoso. Especially no number no involved no is very important so. And obama we are obey consultation. The consultation be meetings on different occasions. Na before ombe conclude adie no. Nti sɛ wanyɛ saa adeɛ no consultation meetings no na ɔka sɛ adeɛ no obi anim sɛ redundancy aba nti munkɔ fie a even though under section 98 of Employment Rights Act a fair reason sɛ obi make nkrɔfoɔ no redundant the procedure is wrong.
Okay.
And therefore it hasn't been fair in all the circumstances under case law.
Okay.
And it would be unfair to just dismiss them without going through the process. And say the court wa kwekube wini because the employer did not follow the process by way of consultation.
Lawyer, in our answers now, the claim will succeed because government should have intervened. And no. I say government.
I say government should have intervened. I mean, I say Shemupa and Kasa COVID or something like that. And I think this is Africa cinema is in the UK as well. That's why Shemudi and government intervene. So Yeshemua and government intervene. So when it's just there to lose you out, literally. There's sometimes as nibi oma, it be Shemua. Now it throw you out of control. But it has nothing to do with the government. It's more to do with the law and what the employer ought to do before they effect the redundancy.
Okay. Inti, senior lawyer H. Mono, the answer to our question is number 3. The claim will succeed because the employer should have consulted the employee and the employees affected. Oshe yen nugget no kra senior o see ade ma yen no oche mu se usually no I was say consultation day ekoso and sana wetimi aye sa redundancy na wetimi aye. Nti lawyer we dey ma atimfo nyina adawase say waboso ade amman. Now just before we go, we obviously will be doing English summary. Those of you who have difficulty understanding the language, today we've tried as much as possible because it was a bit of a technical something and involves everybody, not necessarily an immigration thing. So we have used a lot more English than the local Chi language or the local Ghanaian language. But if you missed anything, or even if you found it a bit long and you want to just get a gist and a summary of that, within the week, there will be an English summary between 5 and 8 minutes that will help you have a good grasp treated today. So don't lose out. You can watch it back again on our YouTube page and our Facebook page, or you can catch up with the summary that lawyer will be doing later on after this program. So lawyer, sorry.
Yo, etiefuna adofo ashafo yada massibebre and also ya bibi ohia papa wo edwumam tituru ya share employment another edwuma na ye wo bibi a friend discrimination another where you may sin chain. Na so where you is in chain another word discriminate here eba kwan na ba fado a eba prove case e wo court na odika no your boss do the discrimination no oye mra the minti Equality Act 2010 and na Employment Rights Act 1996 ni nyina no ebo them discrimination na one abono akaka nyina political belief, religious, race and mokaka ho nyina anti this madam nyina no protected characteristics na sadam protected characteristics no ewo hode a na we US in chen because of them aziza no botuma akade wa discriminate to ewo edwumum na them not da ye wo nyama 4 odzikan no bi a discrimination no or you open mo bi ehu there why discriminate to send there what's one fad in amount because it's them. What's one fad in amount will send there instead the war beman our oba even though orangasa so your ba. That mean you may no be no abobodo them na wodi a treat to the manager near back there or direct discrimination. Another indirect discrimination what the policy no or that to who work there say fan crowd